Welcome once again to LangTime Studio. We are grateful that you're here to join us today on this very special, very important episode. Joining with me, as usual, is my co-host, Dr. Jessica Sams.
Oh, Jessica, really? You just Jessica'd me?
I got you.
Man, not cool.
Hey, what would you think if somebody tried to drop the nickname Sika on you?
Sika. You know what?
Hey, Sika, what's up?
It's Sika cool. It's fine.
Combines two of the things I hate most about everybody from Half Moon Bay. Called you out, Half Moon Bay.
I don't even know what that means, but I'll go with it.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to call out my former suite mates. This dude, let me tell you about this guy. He had like one of those big old army duffel bags, and he just filled it up with dirty clothes and took the bus back to his parents' house to do laundry the entire first year that we were at Berkeley. I saw him there sitting at the bus stop with his big duffel of laundry. And it wasn't like he was going back to do his laundry. He was going back so that his mother would do his laundry.
So, I used, once upon a time, I would teach this class that's like for freshmen. And it's meant to just orient them to college life. And it's this semester long, like just hour credit thing. And at the end of the semester, one of the activities that we were supposed to do was like, what did you learn from your first semester of college, and what would you want to tell incoming students that, like advice for them. And one of the guys in the class said, I never knew until I got to college how much women's work was involved. And I said, what do you mean by that? And he said, I have to do my own laundry. And I was like, I'm going to give you an F. I don't know. I was appalled. And so, yeah, that was the advice was, be ready for women's work. Anyway.
I mean, I guess or just get on a bus every weekend.
You know what? As long as he would have been quiet about it, I wouldn't have cared. But to tell your female professor, like, that is woman's work, and I was like, and this is why by the time my son could actually reach the controls, he learned how to do laundry.
Well, I will say this one thing about me doing laundry, because I did laundry growing up. But, and this is crucial, nobody, not until I got to college did I learn this. My mother, my stepdad, nobody ever thought it was important to tell me that there was a lint trap.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So it's like I wasn't the only one doing laundry, so evidently other people were emptying the lint trap, throughout my entire existence living with my parents. But it wasn't like, oh, it's too hard, or, oh, I don't want to do that. I didn't know that there was such a thing, let alone what it was for, let alone what would happen if you didn't empty it.
And you need to empty it every time.
Exactly. You need to empty it every time. And not only that, and this is a little weird, I find it somewhat pleasurable. Because it's like you get to, ooh, and it's soft. I like doing it. And so it was literally in college, in my first semester, being in the room with, other people. And I'm like, what's that? And they're like, oh, it's the lint trap. I'm like, what's a lint trap? And they laughed, which they should have. And they're like, yeah, you have to empty it every single time. Mm-hmm. I'm like, is this just for this type of wash of dryer? Maybe I have one that doesn't have a lint trap. And they're like, probably not.
You have a lint trap fairy is what you have. Follows behind you.
I know.
Takes care of it.
Unbelievable. Okay.
Well, hey, we're not here to talk about laundry.
No. What are we here to do?
We are here for a special episode because we're going to have a week off of our normal live stream.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so we still wanted to drop a new episode on everyone, but we don't want to do, the possum language when people aren't able to help us. So we're going to revisit Engála.
Yeah. By the way, do we want to say what we're doing on our time off? I forget.
Oh, I'm going to be in Philadelphia to see my niece graduate. To be with the family as my niece graduates, since tickets are limited due to social distancing. Yeah. But I'm going to be there when she gets home.
Congratulations. And I am going to be doing what do you call it? I'm going to be on a panel. Yeah, I'm going to be on a panel. It's a virtual panel. But it's a panel that started right at 4 p.m. And so I was going to have to leave early anyway. And I was the one that was running the stream, so it was going to be a little awkward. And I was just like, this is better. This is better. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like for a book thing. I don't remember what it is. It's going to be a panel. It sounds very interesting. Like, I would watch it just because I'd want to see what I would say interacting with this person. But I don't have any idea.
Is it like a panel that could be shareable by link once you do it?
That's a really good question. I have no idea.
If it is, then you should, put it out there once it's shareable.
I should probably look it up. Do we have time for this? Should I look it up?
I mean, we do have a lot of work that we're going to try to get done today. But
yeah.
You're already looking it up, so maybe you'll be fast enough.
Well, yeah.
Well,
I was going to say, because the reason is when people are actually watching this, like in this moment, it'll be like, I don't know, like 2:10, and so it'll be like an hour and 50 minutes until the panel. They could actually watch it, right, if such a thing is possible, which I don't know.
Anyway, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I apparently need to update pages because it's not even letting me collaborate if I don't update pages.
All right.
Have you updated recently?
Metaverse. We're going to find out soon. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
We'll find out if we have a problem.
Okay, so it's going to be called the Metaverse panel. ReadPop is hosting Metaverse, a virtual con, as they have done periodically since quarantine began. This is the same company that hosted BookCon, Comic Cons, and other major conferences. Anyway, and so I am going to be on a panel with Hafsa Faisal, and we're going to be talking language at 4 p.m. Pacific. Mm-hmm. Somewhere. So anyway, but yeah, Metaverse. Look it up. See if you can watch it or something. All right. And then I also forgot to actually click on the shareable link that you sent to me on my computer. I did it on my phone, but why did I think that would be useful? So you have to black
everything out?
Yep.
Well, right now the update it was like super fast all the way around the little green circle until the very last, 5%. Now it's just sitting there like, do I want to update? This is really frustrating. And it wouldn't have mattered except for the fact that it was like, if you want to collaborate, you have to update. And I felt like that collaboration was necessary.
Okay, well, I've got the document open. So that's good.
And so we can talk about what we're gonna do here.
Yeah, I'm gonna and then I guess keep us apprised of your updating progress.
Yeah. It says 127.5 megabytes of 127.5 megabytes. So what is it waiting for?
Yeah. This thing I have it as to do the auto updates, and it's really good about it.
I thought I had it set up to do that, but life happens, I guess. Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go. Now I got a little bounceroo. It's done.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna try this again. But yeah, so what they're looking at on the screen is the Fable, right?
Not yet. I was wondering if you wanted to read it live.
Oh, well, just a second. Let me because now I'm reopening the Engála document. And, okay, let's try this again. Come on, pages.
I hope everybody
appreciates your shirt. Wrote a little something.
Oh, uh-oh.
What happened?
I've uncollaborated because it says pages update available.
It did it to you now. I should not have updated.
That's all right.
This is going to be a great opening part of our episode where you get to watch David and Jessie update pages.
All right. That's all right.
I can actually read the Fable while you're updating.
Everybody can see my apps. But the thing is, it says that it doesn't have an update. Like, it was just going through the motions.
Oh.
Like
when you clicked on it and it didn't say, like, go to App Store now?
Yeah, like, oh, maybe what I have to do is close, here, I'm going to close that, we don't need that. We don't need sound.
Do you need to blank things out just in case?
No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close Engála and open it up.
Okay.
And then, all right, but I don't want people to see the Fable, it's too late. Everybody's seen it, they've read it all instantly. Engála. There we go.
Did you get the warning?
Pages update available. Like, what the hell?
And then when you click on that little update available, doesn't it give you a pop-up box that says, like, go to App Store?
Yeah, and then when I go there, it just says open because it's already updated. Ah, I'm reminded again why we decided not to do this on Wednesdays, because the gardeners are here.
Oh. That's okay. I have all sorts of noise that goes on outside my windows.
But, okay, whatever. We're just going to do our best and probably not have to, like, it won't let me collaborate. It won't let me collaborate with Engála.
If you go to iCloud.com, does it let you update?
I think maybe what I should do is quit Pages. Maybe.
Should I quit Pages too?
No. You stay steadfast.
Sorry, it said I couldn't collaborate with you without the update, so I did not intend on killing the rest of our process. And now, like 12 minutes in, we still haven't even started our goal here.
Oh, good. You can't see anything because the things are so long that you can't actually see the titles. So I can open stuff on Pages. There's a whole bunch of secret languages in there, and all you can see is the first letter. And bingo bango. Bingo bango. It's not something you should have to repeat. Okay, whatever. We're good now. See? It's figured out that it's updated. Okay. And so I'm zooming in.
Yes, it shows you've joined.
I'm zooming in, and Jessie is going to read this that she wrote.
A father and daughter were hopping through the forest and came up to a field of green plants. The daughter was hungry and wanted to eat them all. Her father pointed to 2 plants. "What do you see?" he asked. "Food," she said. He pulled on one green plant, and a radish came out of the ground. He pulled on a second green plant, and an onion came out of the ground. He gave his daughter the radish. An onion plant looks delicious above ground, but what grows from it can harm you. No plants, so you can beware of hidden onions.
Yeah! And Jessie wrote this. I didn't.
I very obviously wrote it for David.
And David is delighted. Oh my goodness, I love it so much.
This is happy early Father's Day.
I will take it. Thank you so much. So, now we have to translate this or interpret or put it into Engála, the language that we have created that we totally remember how to use.
Totally. Well, I actually remember how to do noun phrase coordination because I just did a drawing last week with it.
You sure did.
So we just need to, put things side by side. Now, we were doing something with verb phrase and or clausal coordination, whether we want to have that as two completely different clauses up front. I think we can definitely do the first part, though, the father and daughter hopping through the forest. We can also play around with tense, because it doesn't have to be in a particular tense.
Let's
and so
my keyboard's gonna be like this. Okay.
it is going to be like that, yeah. So now we can, have we done a full translation episode before where we show how we how we usually sort of parse everything and then translate?
Sure.
Have we? Like, I don't remember. Hey, you really know how. Why do I keep you around?
I don't know. I mean, I assume it's for some reason.
Okay,
What do I add?
so
What do I add?
what do you mean, what do you add?
Is it just that I'm really, really good looking? Is that it? Is that all I add?
It's really the hair. Is
Thank you.
What
Thank
everybody's
you
here
for acknowledging my hair. Not enough people do that every single stream. It really... I mean, why do you think I'm doing this? Do you think I'm doing that just for fun? No, it's to get compliments. All right. So...
So, why did you type 2 down?
I was pretty sure that was the word for father. Was I wrong?
Oh, yeah, you're wrong.
No, it's
Now,
ta.
it's either ta or uta. The question is, do we want the familiar form or do we want the formal? So do we want like papa and daughter?
No.
Or do we want...
No, we want ota. You're right. Thank you.
Okay. And that's, of course, not going to be the first word of the sentence, though, so it won't be capitalized, because the first word of the sentence is going to be the word
verb.
hopping portion.
Yeah. So, that's hey hey?
I believe so, yeah. Daughter, by the way, is Mika.
Mika. Oh, that's cute. Mika, and then we have something like ahehesas.
And I actually think that's in one of our verb charts. And so that one will be that one will be very easy to verify. And that is indeed correct, except
Yeah.
this.
Ahehesas.
Yeah, you got it. Okay. Okay, and then cayenne is going to follow otamika cayenne.
Ooh. Ahehesas otamika mika cayenne? Okay, It's tough to remember the versus a. So we have ahehasas otamika cayenne. Otamika cayenne. This takes some practice. Okay.
So we don't actually have a word for forest.
We don't?
But we do have a word for tree, but it's a very specific kind of tree, because I believe that's a tree with leaves on it.
Yeah, we don't have anything for forest?
Forest or woods? I'm not seeing any entries.
No, we should have a separate... I think that there should be a separate word for forest, and it shouldn't be a derivation of tree. I feel like it's kind of like a separate field, especially since they have a lot of terminology for specific types of trees.
Right.
It's more of an area.
Right.
An area of wholeness and wellness and peace.
So we do have... You know what? I feel like we've used a lot of these roots. I was going to say we do have some roots that we could still explore using, but I really feel like we've already used a lot of these.
I mean, that shouldn't be a surprise. We've done a lot with this language.
We have, but what is surprising is why in the world have we not gotten rid of it if we've already used it? And so I'm just going to do a quick search. Okay, so lasma is a word we could use. Okay, so yeah, okay, we do have roots on page 5.
Well, I will go take a look. But Wow, look at it. It actually scrolls side to side fast now. I wonder if this is part of the new update for Pages. Speaking of new update, let's see if they fixed the only issue I care about, that I keep complaining about every single time and that I leave reviews for. Let's see.
Oh, the adding a bookmark?
The clicking on a bookmark. Nope. Why? Why? Look, so every time you press on this, it brings up this thing, which means that in their mind, 50% of the time you want to go to the bookmark and 50% of the time you want to edit it. Because why would they put it there if it weren't the case? Oh my God, does that make me so mad? And they still haven't fixed it. Anyway, so.
Hey David, how's that make you feel?
Makes me feel vulnerable.
Okay, so actually, Sava is the only root I've found that we've actually used already. So on page 5, we have some roots that we've already gone through the whole historical process with, if we want to just get inspiration from those and or straight up take them. The only one we haven't done is what would happen to, and I believe it would just be Callow. But that's the only one we haven't done. So it starts up here.
We've done this.
This is from the font. Do you still want to keep that?
That yes, I do want to keep, because I feel like I'm not done with the font, so I need that.
Do you mind if I move it though?
Yes, you can. But are you saying we've already done all of these?
I'm saying we have not. I'm saying they are all.
Oh, that's
it
good.
wanted to be bold, italic, and underlined.
Is that going to be your next shirt?
Yes, because see, this is be bold or italic, but really it should be bold, italic, and underlined.
All right. So, this was what I was going to say. I appreciate that we have roots here, but I feel like we should just tap into what we feel when we think of a forest and then go with that, unless... I know you're big into these W's, so if you want to do Weemhay, you can do Weemhay.
Oh wait, and actually the Lexergy app is already set up for Engála, right?
Yes, it is.
Because Graham is amazing.
You bet. Yeah, here, I'll pull it up. And so,
I'm pulling it up as well, so that way I can decide.
You can do that against my wishes, because of course it's kind of my thing. You know, Lexergy, it's not really your thing.
I believe Graham made it for all to share, and you can just...
What can I just? Everybody's waiting for you. Everybody's waiting for you to one day...
Get over yourself.
So yeah, if you want to weem some hay, I won't complain. But if you want to spend some time and just reflect and think about what does the forest mean to you, we can also do that.
It does. And I'm reminding myself, also I'm looking at our IPA chart, because it's like I remember the sounds we have, but I'm, it's also making sure that I don't accidentally choose a sound that's not meant to be in a protoform. Because that obviously does happen accidentally. So I'm just making sure I don't do that.
Just thought of a jazz album title, Saxidentally. That was all.
Yes. Okay, so...
Ooh, also, well, sexually.
I'm only mildly concerned about you. It's all good. It's all good. Maybe. Okay, so I'm looking at a modern form that would come out. I have two very different options for very different reasons.
Okay.
One I'm looking at, and I also want to try one So one is tally, one is phasa. Could also do fisa, but I like phasa better.
I've got one to suggest at you.
Oh, another one is enali. That's another option. Okay, those are my options that I have for you. Do you feel any of those?
Sure, I'm going to throw another one at you. Hallow.
Hallow?
Mm-hmm.
Like a hollow?
Mm-hmm. As close as I could get to it.
A holler? I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'm going to save these other ones, though, because I like the sound of them, and we're going to need more words than just this.
Yeah, did you write them down?
I mean, I still have them pulled up on Lexergy, so I will be easily able to come over here and type them. And by easily, let me get my Unicode. And that just goes like that. And I actually have multiple options for how to get phasa. Okay, which I liked better. And this one is just fun. We're going to have to use it at some point. Okay. So those are the forms I had come up with, but we're going to go with hello.
All right. Here, I'll go ahead and enter it.
I would hope so.
Would you now? But I mean, really, it's impolite of me. Why don't I let you enter it?
Then we're going to have to talk about what we want to do with through. Through really is a bad English translation. I want to say they were hopping in the woods, right?
Yeah. Thank you, by the way. Thank you for completely dodging my suggestion. I appreciate that. It makes me feel heard.
What did you say?
That you should enter it. But
yeah, just tossing that right out like yesterday's garbage.
Are we going to address the plural?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask now. How do we do that?
I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be inedible, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So to.
And do we have any others that? Yeah, we do. Tohalo. Yeah. Good. Forest, woods.
And I'm going to get on the English side and get those entered. See, that's what I'm really good at is the other side of the dictionary.
Let's look what our instrumental says. Lentha plus Amma. Leave. Okay.
I was thinking of doing the instrumental as our preposition with forest, but it doesn't make sense given its etymology, so we need something else. Let's review our prepositions. Let's see what we've got.
We actually have a chart that I think includes all of them, unless we forgot to add some later on page 19.
Beyond, no.
Well, the locative ones are there, really, I should say.
Over, away from. I don't know if this makes sense. Inside of. No, it doesn't make sense. Beyond past. Charlie. What is Charlie again?
I don't know, but I will look in just a second.
Shadow.
Oh, shadow, yeah.
So Luchai is in sight of the shadow of the forest, maybe. To the underside we have into, like actually into, in sight of the belly of, onto, under. With. Inside of.
Yeah, I think inside of is probably what we should do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, us, and then forest, hollow.
Oh, that's just oos, not loose. For some reason, I thought that was loose. But then again, that's probably because I think all of our prepositions start with an L.
Yeah.
No, in this case, the L vocalized in between the two oos, oos, and became oos.
That's right. Okay. Okay, so that is that.
Yes, for that part.
That's really cool. Okay, I'm going to pop up to remind myself what happens with coordination at this level.
I usually...
Okay, so we have a sentence-to-sentence coordination that differs. It doesn't look like we have a verb phrase to verb phrase coordination. I mean, kind of we do, but we just call it S to S. And it looks like we're going to be adding mood between the verbs.
Yeah, that's what we got. Actually, I have an and then, but whoa! The string THEN appears once in our entire document. And it's in the word it's in the word lengthening. Wow.
That is bizarre. Do you actually want an and then? Because all of our ands seem to be cotemporal. In terms of like the rabbit is fluffy and is being pushed. Like it's not the first one then the next thing. We don't have a single one that would really be an and then situation.
Yeah, kind of do. I was kind of thinking of we don't have a word for to come? Like to arrive?
You're kidding.
Dang.
I feel like that needs to be addressed. Like,
yeah, because I was thinking that
we also don't have a generic to go.
That's So I was
or
thinking
leave, or no, we do have leave. Sorry, we just, and by we I mean I misalphabetized it on the English. Fixing that.
It's tough, that alphabetization.
You can just go ahead and tell everybody now that you're dropping me as a partner, since I obviously can't alphabetize. I think that's the only one that's out. It's all good. It's good.
When I put out my call for co-hosts, I listed one thing. I said must be able to alphabetize. Everything else was negotiable.
But you didn't specify in English.
You got me there. So, on you stay.
Exactly.
Damn. I'm gonna find a way to fire you, Sika. Just you wait.
And by the way, you need to make sure the stress is on the of the sika, because it's short for Jessica, and so you don't want to do sika. It's got to be more like sika.
Is that like Jessica, Jessica, Jessica?
If you're gonna call me by my full name, I need some formality. I need some stress. I need something to go on. Otherwise, it's just not right.
Then, as I was about to say, Jessica.
Yes.
The reason that I wanted to that I brought up the verb for to come or to arrive is because I was actually thinking of deriving our coordinator from it.
And I mean, I think that would be a great idea. I also think we need a word for it anyway, because it would be nice if we, I don't know, came up to a field of green plants. Maybe they arrived at a field.
Yeah. So, and this is...
We need it anyway.
This will be a fun reminder for the people watching that this is going to be an interesting thing for our language, because, in other words, it makes sense that it would come from something like come. Somebody's knocking on my door.
Is that your door?
Yeah, somebody's knocking on my door. Hang on a sec.
To find out.
Just a minute.
And while he's away, now we can really have some fun and change everything about the language. Or I decide which root I like best and just enter it. Although, me and entering verbs, that just never goes well. This is going to be the most interesting part of the stream, by the way. Actually, as we're doing that too, I'm going to see. You get to hear just me talk out loud. Ooh, we do have a word for field.
I'll be brave.
I think we have a word for green. Yes, we do. I think. Yes. Is everything okay?
Yeah. No, it's just somebody trying to advertise pest control. As if I don't already have a pest control company. What do they?
Okay, so as I'm looking forward, because we can return to this idea that, we need a word for arrive or to come anyway, and then you were going to say something about our language
Yes.
and how this was going to be interesting.
Yes.
And then I'm going to add to that and say we have a word for field and green, but we do not have a word just for plant. And so that will be something else to do. Go on.
Well, to tell you the truth, when I saw the translation for the first time, I was like, that's going to be a difficult one, because they maybe are not necessarily going to have a word for plant.
Right.
Okay. But, all right. Okay, so this is interesting because, so it's important that this is coming from a word for come and not something like follow or lead or whatever. Because, of course, as an ergative language, the coordination here is going to differ from the way it does in English. So, in English, you would say like, Mary saw a possum and danced. And Mary would be the one that danced. In Engála, Mary saw a possum and danced. It would be the possum that danced. Actually, not C. Crap, not C, because C is different, isn't it?
C is different because
C is
we
different.
have
Yes.
a required prepositional phrase for the experiential verbs.
Mary hugged the possum and danced. It would be the possum that danced. And so that's why it's important that this come from come, because come is unergative, right? And so its lone argument will also be a bit of an agent. But the idea is that it is going to coordinate with the absolutive argument of the previous verb. And so, yeah, the father and daughter were hopping through the woods, and then they did something, then this works, right? Mm-hmm. But it'll be something to keep in mind, because there'll probably be, when we do translations, there'll probably be lots of critters hugging other critters. And so we need to know which ones are dancing afterwards. It's going to be important.
Yes.
So it's like, if you wanted to say, like, the possum hugged the mouse and then the possum danced, you would have to do something different.
Now, Because our first verb, though, only has an absolutive argument, right? It doesn't have an argative.
Oh yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying.
So that's fine.
Yeah,
okay.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all set.
Cool. Then, do you want to look at the roots we have for a possible form, or are you feeling something already?
No, this is a word for come. We have to decide this one very. We have to decide it quite specifically. For one, it's going to be a verb that enjoys a lot of use, so we want to make sure it's a good form, a nice short form. And second, we're going to be reducing that in order to make a coordinator. So we want to be a little bit more hands-on with this.
Fair enough. What? Because have we shortened something that was a pre-nasalized consonant into a like preposition or shortened form?
I don't know.
Yes, we have.
Hmm.
Because flee is easy.
Mm-hmm.
And it just becomes Z, right?
Believe so.
Okay. Yes, that is what it becomes.
Yeah.
Okay. What about, let me make sure this isn't actually a word yet. Always a good thing. What about a modern form of idza for the full word, and then za for the shortened form?
That is really complicated.
Okay.
I mean, I'll do it, but...
No, but you don't like it, so
no,
it's off the table.
It's not that I don't like it, it's that it's complicated. Why wouldn't you want to do something easy? We're creating a verb. Remember, we got to do the reduplication part of it.
I know, but I make you do that.
Ah, fair enough.
Okay, so we're going to go back to the drawing board.
I was thinking of doing something like my. Like, super simple, you know?
Like M-A-I?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be May? Oh, my. No, we kept diphthongs?
We did when they were ah plus e or u. When it's schwa plus e or u, they become eh.
Okay. Well, let's do mine.
I mean, I like it, but, you know. This is not...
So is the coordinator form going to be the same as the verb form?
No, that one would be may because it's hyper reduced. But I mean,
it's hyper. Okay, cool.
But here's the thing: this is a special episode. It's supposed to have extra fans. So if your fancy has not been tickled by my, then we can totally do idza.
No, I am happy with this suggestion, except for the fact that may is a third-person singular rabbit animate pronoun.
All right, then we got to do something different. Let's. What else have we got? Nigh or nigh? Can we start things with? No, we can't start things with nah. Okay, nay is actually with the comitative.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, that could lead to some interesting folk etymologies. But okay, what else?
Yes, it would be from totally different sources, so that's interesting.
Yeah. Here's a quick question: do we have any verbs that have diphthongs that get reduplicated? Like I saw this one. Sorry, that's the
When
noun.
you say this one.
Never mind, that's a noun.
I think only part of it gets duplicated.
Ooh. This, by the way, we have the incorrect protoform for lice.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't know what it's supposed to be. I just know that that's wrong.
And that was for lice?
Yeah, it's an interrogative particle. I remember it's a shortening of something. I just don't remember what it's a shortening of.
I totally get what you mean now.
Yeah.
I was thinking of a noun that means lice, and I was trying to figure out
Yeah.
where that may be. I am not. Okay, to boil is a good example. Fighty, and then it becomes like the fabaidi. So only half of the diphthong were duplicates.
Okay. That is good to know. It's also interesting that that thing gets stressed on the second syllable. Oh well. Anyway, okay. So good. That'll tell me how to reduplicate it. So it would be like if it were my, it would be mamai. That's fine. But now we need to find something that it can actually be. But the reduced form, the coordinator, will actually be the single vowel. So it'll either be may. We could do mao.
We could definitely do mouth.
For come.
I like that. I'm trying to figure out where our interrogative marker came from.
Okay.
Because I think it comes from ice and something else.
All right, you keep doing that. I'm gonna go and go ahead and move forward with Mao. I like it.
Go for it.
Hold on a sec. I'm gonna take a little quick break here. 1 second. 1 second.
Disappears. Okay. Right. Like, I really feel like it was related to our imperative. Which had the verb, I believe, ice in it. And now I'm trying to find it. Yes, there it is. Ice. And I swear that was related. I just talk out loud when you leave so they know I'm still here. It's okay.
Oh, that's fine. No, like I was giving them another little shot of vitamin J, because you know that I mean, I know that you're very self-effacing, but you know that the people who watch us regularly, they would love it if you just hosted by yourself once. I'm serious. You can't just brush me aside on this one. Look, they find you extremely charming, and why wouldn't they? Just letting you know.
I thought I could figure it out, but I'm not.
She's just straight
Like,
up
we're gonna have to go
ignoring me.
back to the episode to figure that out.
She's just straight up ignoring me. You're gonna have to go back to the comments after this one's done. Which, by the way, is something that I haven't been doing. We really need to go and view comments on videos. I've been terrible with that. I'm so sorry. Okay, to come, to arrive.
Okay, we're doing Mao, right?
Yep. Oh my god, look what I just did.
Oh, I'm not on the right page.
Oh my god. No, seriously, Jesse. Alright. We went to all this work to create a different coordinator. And the different coordinator ended up being Mo
Instead of Moo.
instead of Moo. Okay, we've got to do something different. It can't be Mo.
Okay, we could do any other consonant there.
Yes.
Do you want now? Do you want...
Let's take a look.
Tau?
We don't have
Sao.
no, so it could be no. It is acoustically very similar.
We could have so, zo, lo, ho, ko, to, po.
What do you kind of like the sound of?
We have so many L's. Ugh.
Yeah, we can't do L.
I mean, I'm leaning toward either to or because I really don't want so or zo. I mean zo,
Okay.
I guess, but so just feels so much
Got
like
it?
a screw.
Okay.
So like to, zo. I don't want ho because that feels squeamish in the wrong way.
Don't be judgy.
And so yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards. Ko could be good too. To, ko, zo. Those are my options.
All right, we're gonna go with ko, except that it's the word for twig.
Of course it is, because yeah, of course it is. So how do you feel about our other options? We could go back to the A, by the way, now that we're not coming up against the A problem. So we could have K.
We could have ho.
We could. Is that too heavy for what you were going for? I was trying to stay away from anything that felt too heavy.
No, I'm pretty okay with that.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not
Then
too heavy
let's do
for
it.
you, is it?
Is anything too heavy for me?
All right, here we go. We're doing it. So how? And the
God, you just entered something and then like my pages all shifted around.
it's actually
So
gonna
if I
be-
mess up this alphabetization, it's your fault.
how? Okay. And then whole.
I also think once we get these typed, oh, are we gonna actually also enter this as just a word for like then?
Yes.
Yes, okay, I might add that on the other side. What I think we should do is add a couple sentences up above to show examples.
Oh. Yeah, I guess so. I'm trying to think about how to spell this. I guess
Oh,
No, I guess we do want people to know. There we go.
I'm gonna type it over here so I have space. Ah,
All right, we're over 350 words.
I forgot I was on the wrong keyboard. And of course I said, darn it. I hope Minnie's watching. We do not have hug. What else could a rabbit do to a possum that would be...
No, let's do C.
Even though the argument doesn't work out the way we want it?
No, it does, because
that's the thing. The absolute argument of C is the person who sees.
Oh,
However, I see that these are in the present tense. But I guess that's fine. So, but just remind me what,
no, this doesn't make sense. This is interesting.
So one of the things that I thought we should add was one with a clear ergative and absolutive argument,
Sure.
and then show which one the second one ends up being understood as the agent.
Yeah, but also I'm looking at the sentence is actually wrong that we have here. The rabbit is sweet and is eating clover, but we have Calby. That shouldn't be Calby. That should be Kagaubi. And furthermore, I don't know what's up with stress. Where is Calby?
Under the case.
There we go. Interesting. So, like, it's not... That one has normal stress. So, yeah, it's Kakalbi. Oh, I see. And it is Kakalbi, not Kagalbi. Because... So
because it was originally a P.
Yeah, so... Misleni me Kakalbi mileni. So the rabbit is sweet and is eating clover because that needed to be reduplicated and it wasn't. And this we can say and ate. Okay, what do we have a verb for hug?
No, but so if you look at the translation document, I've started a sentence for us. Just because I needed it in a separate document as I go around.
What does niñaza mean?
That's our verb to scritch.
Oh. So the rabbit scritched the... What's a genza?
Possum.
The rabbit scritched the possum, and then the possum ate the clover. Correct?
And then the possum what?
And then the possum was the one that ate the clover.
Oh, yes, if that's what we're going to have the second half being.
All right.
Yes.
It's there. All right, so let's do. Okay.
Oh, if we just want past tense, take away the ni. It would just be nyaza.
Got it.
When you had said they were all in present tense, I was like, oh, then.
Dang. I'm gonna do this in a one of those linguistic-y ways. Do you see what I'm doing?
Oh, I see what you're doing. You're co-indexing.
Yes, I am. Make it clear who's doing what.
I mean, do you want to just also like co-index scritched?
I didn't think that was necessary, but...
No, it really isn't. But I just didn't know if you wanted to, co-index everything.
Well, listen. If you want me to, then it's done. All right. I'm gonna, and then I'm gonna throw this sentence on there again with the arguments flipped. So ime, and then en genza. There we go.
second. There's something going on here that we shouldn't have in our current examples. Isn't that like a reflexive or something? What is that? Mi on its own is not in the dictionary.
Uh-oh.
Is that like a bad copy and paste from something else?
Dear me.
Because mille is the word for clover, right?
Yes, I'm also a little concerned here. Yeah, me is...
Like that looks like a reduced form to introduce an ergative argument where there wasn't one in the first half.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. This is a little bit of a mystery.
It is, though, me is the form that was reflexive, but that was reflexive for verbs.
Oh boy.
This was not meant to throw us down a rabbit hole, so to speak.
But yeah, we also have a second problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because eat is takes an ergative argument, so like this doesn't actually work. This doesn't actually work at all because the absolutive arguments are supposed to be co-indexed. So this mille doesn't make any sense. It should be the rabbit scratched the possum and then was eaten. Yeah, I know. So I know. I'm gonna fix it.
Are you sure you want to?
I'm gonna fix it. So
okay.
It's just they're not very good examples, but they're accurate.
But it's better than and was eaten.
Yeah. So those two are done. Now we can try to figure out this me thing.
It is so. It definitely like. That's our ergative marker. Whether there is supposed to be a space there and that was just a typo, but why that wouldn't be me, I think it has something to do with it being reflexive and just pointing right back to the same argument. But I can't find an example where me is used outside of a suffix on a verb as the reflexive.
It does seem important, and I'll tell you why. Because ime is the absolutive argument of mislen, but it is the ergative argument of kakabi.
Right.
So this seems important.
What was the origin of that me suffix?
I would love to be able to tell you, but I'm going to guess it was from a shortened form of ime. Would the spelling help you?
Would it have come from nose?
Oh. Perhaps.
Because I have a memory of that.
So like the rabbit The idea is to be like, the rabbit saw the nose. The nose was standing in for
For the rabbit.
yeah.
I mean, that makes more sense than changing an A to an E when it could have just been A and the reflexive.
Yeah. It was indeed supposed to be a suffix, which is why all those things have reflexive forms.
Mm-hmm.
It would be interesting if... I understand why we would need to have pronoun repetition, because one is the absolutive argument and one is the ergative.
Side note. It is indeed from Mina knows.
That's good.
And with reflexive forms, the ergative marker only appears in its shortened forms. Okay, so that's just something to know.
Yeah.
But again, that would be like attached to the verb. For agentive participles, the reflexive form may be used as a kind of antipassive, although this qualifies as a full relative clause as shown below. And it is attached that is still though. Why do we suddenly have Wika and then we're attaching the N in that case? That would still be on the verb. Okay, never mind. I got excited for nothing.
Why does this have an accent mark?
Which one? Sorry.
May. It's like,
That's a really good question, David. Because Wika, but I also don't know why all of a sudden the ergative marker is attaching to the noun in some of these examples.
Oh, it was just clitic. It does that when it ends in a vowel.
Right, but we don't do that in other examples. We leave it with a space. Like, go up to page 24 right above it. And I've highlighted an example where it's like idulu space.
that's interesting. I don't think I would do that if I was deciding it right now.
Right, but that's how it is through most of the document.
Okay, well then let's do it to be consistent.
Oh, look at that. It dumped it onto another line. But it's like, why even put the apostrophe if you're not going to attach it to a previous word?
I don't know, but, page 27, we can ask ourselves the same thing. Why is me different in that situation? We're not even going to make it through a freaking line. I don't know why it has... Maybe... never mind. I'm going to stop guessing. We either need to go back and watch our episodes to see if we just made a mistake. Or if those were meant to be entries and we should have entered them.
Yeah.
I really don't know, David.
I don't either. I don't know how you made this mistake.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, I mean, if this is if this is something we want to dive into.
I'm willing to say that the accent mark was a mistake.
Right. And would you then be willing to just say that down here, the me should have been me? And by down here, sorry, on page 26, where we found the original problem.
Yeah. But also now we're gonna put in a space.
Yeah, because I mean that's how we have it on like every other example, really. And I mean we can go through and delete all the spaces, but as long as it's consistent. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and change it. Oh, I thought you were highlighting it. Where was I? Did I just add an E somewhere to the document?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, well, remember when there's an accidental extra E, it was totally you.
Well, I mean, whether you actually did it or not, we'll just, we'll just take it out of your paycheck and just say, call it even, Seems fair.
An extra E, though, I feel like that should be worth more money.
If you are familiar with Wheel of Fortune, you'll know that an extra E costs you money.
Extras don't. Only the first one does.
All right. Fair enough. Okay, so then, yeah, I think that was just a copy pronoun in that. And so now let's go back, and that's why the copy pronoun is there. The copy pronoun is there because it has to be. Just the same way as you would say, like, I don't know, the woman danced and the man saw her. Like, you'd have to put the pronoun there. So,
well, I mean, you don't have to, but,
the woman danced and the man saw.
In that particular example.
The woman danced and the man saw. Actually, my grandfather this used to be one of the things he would say to me when I was a kid. He would say, "I see," said the blind man as he picked up his hammer and saw.
And see, it works because you can drop the argument of see when you want to.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the woman danced and the man devoured her. I mean, look, there's only violent, super transitive ones. Well, I guess it depends on how you're defining devour.
That is very true.
Shout out Eric Carmen, Hungry Eyes. Okay. Okay.
Now I have that song stuck in my head.
Which is not a bad thing, is it?
Mm-mm.
Oddly enough, it has
So
kind
now
of...
I want to watch Dirty Dancing again.
Of course you do, because it's amazing. It has kind of the same progression as the song by the Cars, My Best Friend's Girl. You know that one? Okay, so Hungry Eyes. Hungry eyes. I look at... No, wait. Won't look at you and I can't decide I've got... And so on. But an octave up. Which I could do, but I'd have to go all out. And,
Yeah.
Seems inappropriate.
We don't have time for that.
Now did I take you by surprise, I've got... And so on.
Wow. Okay, so now I think we're ready to return to our actual translation.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know why I thought, I even was like, oh, I'm going to make sure that
Bam!
this is mostly easier.
I changed mu to ho. We got it.
Hey, and we have a word for, came up to. I would imagine that also means arrived.
Yeah.
Right? They arrived.
Yeah, that was useful. Okay. And now it's going to be the exact same word. Ho-how.
Except...
Ho-how-ses?
Yeah, it's going to be, and let me double check. what verb should be, or verb, what vowel? Because what happens, do we leave the full diphthong there?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
So hojas, and then I'm going to say that we should probably use into. What do you think?
Yeah.
Lushu. Hojas, lushu. Let's go ahead and just write field in there, and then we'll deal
I think
with...
it's toden or ten.
It is 10.
10.
Lushu, 10. And then before we do green plants, I think that we need a little bit of a reward. I mean, we just did some major stuff there.
We need to reward ourselves for making mistakes in documents that we have to fix later.
But we fixed them.
We hope.
Time for some original.
Yeah, because it's the best.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right.
Holy cow. Oh my god, now I can't get it open. See, it was like, no, you don't deserve a reward.
Mm.
I might have to get my scissors out if this doesn't work.
Kokiko, because fixing mistakes is better than getting it right the first time.
Every once in a while when you do those things, I'm just reminded of that episode of Friends where Chandler is like trying to be an advertising person and he just keeps coming up with really, really bad slogans like cheese when your cracker needs a blanket. You know, things like that.
Oh, that's
And so-
amazing.
Sometimes that reminds me of that whenever you do these kinds of slogans where everybody else is just going, no, no. And Kopiko is like, you know what, we'll sponsor you if you stop giving us potentially bad slogans to, you know, be kept up with.
We really need to make some inroads into Indonesia. We need some Indonesian viewers so that they can
Spread the word. Okay. So yeah, field of green plants. So yeah, the issue is that they're probably just not going to have a word for plant by itself. But they might have a word for other ways that you can characterize plants. So, for example, by color or size. Or the way that they grow. Right?
Mhm.
So, describe for me this field.
Well, it's got to have leafy greens attached to root vegetables. And so, like, leafy tops or leafy greens would be necessary for the fable to work. Otherwise, like, you pull up grass and it's just the roots, and that's not, you just eat the grass. You don't have to worry about, you know, what grows underneath.
Okay.
Differentiated from plants, plant stalks, flower stalks, shrubs. We want the leafy greens.
Okay. Are both radishes and onions bulbs?
I mean, they grow underground in that kind of bulbous shape, yeah, with the greens on top. I mean, so in terms of like root vegetable kind of characterization, you know, garlic, onions, potatoes, radishes, carrots, beets, all things that grow underground with big leafy plants on top.
How likely, and I'm already feeling like this is a silly question, how likely are these animals to have encountered in the wild either fountains or geysers?
I feel like that's a question for yourself. In terms of what would just randomly spit water up in nature, beyond an actual geyser, which...
Or a whale, it seems really, really unlikely.
Mm-hmm.
That's a shame. because they could call them, geyser plants.
Mm-hmm.
But no,
What
that seems unlikely. Have you seen that geyser, that famous one? Old Faithful?
the one in Yellowstone?
Yeah.
Interesting story. I don't think I have. My dad swears he took us there on a big road trip when I was younger, and I remember all the other stops. I remember all the other national parks we went to. He swears up and down we went to Yellowstone, and I do not remember it.
That's actually the best way to get out of taking trips. Like you remember that time where I took you on an all expenses paid trip to Aruba?
Right.
Like,
now, see, the best way.
I totally remember that. How could you possibly forget that?
Yes, but that's a lie. Whereas we're having a memory difference, and so one of us has it right, the other one doesn't. And I have a way to verify it, but like I'd have to dig through memory boxes, and that would take a long time, and I'm not ready to unpack all of that stuff yet.
I hope everybody heard that. The new word for lie is memory difference.
But it's not a lie when he truly believes that he took me to Yellowstone National Park, and I truly believe I've never been there. It's not a lie.
Are you saying that I don't believe in Aruba?
No, I'm saying that Aruba didn't happen with me and you. You may have taken someone else, but I'm not saying...
It was my reward for when you gave me your social security number.
Anyway. No, I found the real way to get around it where I'm completely telling the truth. And that's when, infants get in places for free that you'd otherwise have to pay for. So what you do is you have somebody take your infant to places you don't want to go to, make sure their picture gets taken, and then later in life you can be like, sorry, you've already done that. Which is why my son has been to Disneyland and I have not. And I have a picture of him with Mickey Mouse and Belle to prove it.
Oh, that's right, because Belle existed the first time you went to Disneyland.
The first time he did? Yeah.
Yeah, we're old.
Yeah, Belle was from like 1991.
Yeah, I think the big new movie the first time I went to Disneyland was The Black Cauldron. Oh boy. Anyway, so I like this idea. I like this word. I like this characterization. These type of plants that have leafy greens. Question is, how do we get that word?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I don't need this anymore. I don't need this and I don't want it. It's a box. So I'm going to ditch it. I'm going to recycle it. Okay, Sally is the word for leaf.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to try to start there and then derive something from it, or do we want to do something else?
Okay, so I really, really like the imagery that you had with the whole geyser situation. I want to try to figure out what would actually be a better metaphor.
I mean,
because I like that to be able to specifically show that it's not just a leaf that you, like lettuce or cabbage, that you just eat off the top of the ground. This is like...
It's the problem is every single metaphor I can think of is something that they're not likely to have. It's like, I also thought of fireworks, but again, very unlikely. Though charming.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
I have a feeling the cats would invent fireworks. No, the mice. The mice would invent fireworks.
Yeah.
Of course they would.
But it takes at least 8 months for your permit to go through to be able to buy them.
Oh, yeah. and then once you buy them, I mean, that just gives you the right to buy them, not to set them off.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Okay, so these plants...
because it's like there's whale spouts, there's volcanoes. Again, none of these things are likely.
But they would be familiar with any sort of
What did
oh
you?
my God.
What did you
They
think
would
of?
use themselves as a metaphor.
Rabbit ears?
When a rabbit
Did you
is
think of
sick-
rabbit ears?
Yes.
That's what I thought
pulling
of!
Its head out of a burrow.
Oh my God! Yes! Oh my God!
Yes.
Ah, I almost feel like having a second Copico.
I'm still working on the parts.
Yeah, so am I. By the way, Jinx.
Fair enough.
Oh, nice. Okay, so let's look it up.
Essie.
Oh, of course, because Jessie is a Twitch them. Which is
Do
kind
you
of
want to make like leafy ears or something?
yeah, which is kind of funny though because I can twitch my ears and you can't twitch your ears, right?
I don't know. I'd have to really try to see if I could. And
Here, just so people
are
can
you
see.
doing it? Oh yeah, you are.
Yeah, so
Very good.
I can twitch my ears. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm just looking at your ears.
Right now, I'm not trying anything. Do we want to put leaf just together with ear to make it like an ear leaf or a leaf ear?
I mean, perhaps we do, but I'm really not feeling inspired.
It's one of those things I can't try on camera first. I've got to find out on my own if I can do it, and then if I can, I will show you. And if I can't, then there's nothing to show.
But nobody's watching right now. This is a safe space. Go ahead.
No. What order do we do compounds in that are known now in this language?
Turn in profile. Turn in profile. Turn in profile. Just give us a chance.
Yeah. We, I believe, do.
You're just not gonna do it. Not even gonna try.
You don't try things on screen for the first time.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
I'll try something. Like I've never tried to, I don't know, lick my elbow. I'll try that. What?
I believe that we need, because the leaf is the more important thing. Is the ear the more important thing? Because it's a leafy ear, so it'd be ear leaf.
Mm-hmm.
Is the order we would need it?
That's what that would be if that's what we were doing right now.
What are you doing?
I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see some.
You're waiting a long time.
Waiting to see some Jessie. Okay.
So,
Essie Sally is what that would end up being.
but wouldn't we end up?
You want to try a Sally or a Shally?
A shabby.
All right.
Yeah, because Essie Sally is just not
No.
at all what I would want.
So I'm going to put leafy plants, specifically plants that have leaves that erupt out of the ground and bend under their own weight, much the way rabbit ears do. How's that?
Is it all leafy plants or specifically ones with something underground?
Good question. I mean, they all have something underground. Even if they don't have a fruit, right? Their roots are underground, right?
And by fruit, you mean vegetables? Because that's specifically what we're talking about.
I didn't mean fruit in that sense. I meant, you know.
Sure.
You know, the word for ear twitching is named after you, and you're not even going to try it. And now you're giving me guff? As if that's the only thing I asked for Christmas. Dear Santa, please, I want some guff. And now you're here giving it to me? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm going to spell this, though.
Is it going to pluralize? Or is it already plural?
No, it is going to pluralize, and it's going to be queshali.
And so, should it be defined then as leafy plant?
Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, but you have it defined in the plural, so I wasn't sure if you intended.
Well, my. Here I've already gotten guff, and then I open up my second present, and it's even more guff. Wow.
You're welcome.
What a holiday this is turning out to be.
It's not a holiday, that's the problem. You expect too much.
You're very pleased with yourself, aren't you?
I'm just ready to start thinking about how we're gonna. It would be with, right? A field with green plants, so with quishali.
I'm not sure. It depends on how we did with.
No, we have two. Niña and ne. Ne is the comitative.
Yeah, but where does it come from?
I'm looking it up right now.
It's like comes from danza, right?
Danza.
So then it probably has an E. Probably starts with an E.
Yeah.
And that's something like that. There it is. Follow. No.
Mm-mm,
No.
mm-mm. And then lignat is the instrumental, so that is not what we want.
So there's, how do we do possession?
We have alienable and inalienable possession. Oh, we do have a property or quality.
Source of the river. Source of the river. Field of leafy plants. Yeah, I feel comfortable doing that. And queshali.
Okay.
And not cheshali, but queshali. There we go. Yeah. I'm pretty good with that. What do you think?
Just 1 second. Is it River Zeus?
Yes, it is.
So would it be Quishalitan?
No.
Because we want field of greens. Okay.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's a modifier too. It's like I keep thinking, this is the silliest thing, but I keep thinking of Dol Blathana, which is something from the Witcher language that was actually in, it was one of the things that Sapkowski came up with, which was Dol Blathana. It was like essentially it was like a field of flowers, right? Or Dol is the same thing as Dale, right? And it's like, you know, it's just like field flowers. And it's like, ten quesali, it's exactly that same way. Really works.
Okay.
You're skeptical. But Jessie,
God.
I'm a believer.
What's that?
I'm a believer. And I'll tell you what. I think ten quesali is the way.
Good.
And now you're just moving on. You're just moving on.
What do you think?
I think that should actually be imperfect. Weema came up with that word.
I believe it was the word that you allowed us to put in under protest.
Yeah, now we have Weema.
Mm-hmm.
Just wrote that. Just just made me say it out loud.
I didn't make you say shit. You
Weema.
said it on your own.
Woo! You got a shit. Very nice. Weema. Weema Mika. Weema.
And then I feel this is a moo situation.
And yes, I agree. Wanted to eat them all.
I know. I don't know what to do with this.
We don't even have one.
No.
Brother. Okay. Do we have a word for lean or bend or incline?
No.
I think we should. I think that's what we should do. We should have a word that
And
means like
no.
to lean over or to bend or incline or something like that, and we could be like
Okay.
and basically and she leant towards the thing that she wanted to do.
Love it.
Yeah, and we don't have to worry about ergativity because that is unergative.
Right.
Okay. So we need a new verb, to lean. I feel like it should be, again, I'm looking at the numbers, and the things that we have the least of are W, C for cha, H, O, Z. Z? Wow, really? Kind of surprises me. It's because things that are prenasalized Z's end up beginning with I's or E's or something.
Okay, but the cha you said we needed more of?
Yes, we do.
And because this is going to... Is this going to be a full verb or is this going to grammaticalize?
No, it's going to be a full verb. Is that okay?
No, I'm sorry, I'm thinking through my head. What about something like chegu?
Okay, I think that's going to be T-I-schwa-K-U, right?
I believe so, and I'm checking it in Luxergy. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. It'll be easy. We'll just copy the word for sleep. Wait a minute. This is the word. That's okay. So, is that what N really looks like? I don't remember. Yeah, it is what it really looks like. Okay. Chegu. Alright. And... Oh. But it's not that. It's just a word by itself. Chegu. And to
lean or to incline. I'm going to define it that way. Specifying one's own body. And then...
Is it also going to mean to bend?
I mean, technically, but not in the way that I think most people think of the word for bend.
Okay, so I'm going to take that back away then.
Yeah.
Because I had added it.
Okay, to want, to desire, to wish for something. Use, what's the word for towards? Lou?
I believe so. Let me double check. Woo. Okay, toward is totally not used in the dictionary. Cool.
It is not. Here, I'm gonna add it toward.
We
towards.
have Lu means to.
Yeah, that's the one I meant. In the side of. So it's either it's either that or from, but I like this better for this.
Yeah.
Okay, and so now to do something.
And then want was something we needed to add.
Use Lu with the infinitival form of a verb.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Yeah.
Oh, to wish. I need to add that too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, and she was hungry, and then she was wanting, so this is going to be imperfect as well. So chechegu lu.
Is that not voice?
It's not.
Okay. Because the K would have blocked it.
I think that's the reason, yeah. But it could also just be that it never
Okay.
voices
For the verbs it doesn't, but for the
Yeah.
nouns it does.
Yeah. Oh, but this was something that really just like totally blew me out of the water. We want to take a look at this one. On the C's, the very last word.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what happened there? I don't think that's right.
This is also the language where we change to qua. I actually remember having a conversation about that. Now I wish I could tell you what that conversation was.
Okay. I don't think this voices. I don't think this voices. Because the other ones don't. And so we have T. Sweet trivia. Where's the S come from?
That's a really, really good question.
Okay, but you know what? No,
Do you want to mark it somehow that we need to? I'm reading through our sound changes and I'm not seeing.
I think it was probably a huge thing where it was like I said that the L vocalized, and so we were at like tuya and tui, but then like why did it turn into an S? Why didn't it just become qui if it was going to become anything? I feel like we just need to revisit that portion of whatever that episode was.
Yeah. Okay. But moving on.
Eating them. Sass.
Them. Yeah, sass. Would we use the emphatic since it's them all?
Yeah. Oh, that's even better.
Do
Oh.
some chassas.
Yes, that is perfect. Ah, and we don't have to worry about the weird thing that English does with all. Oh, it's perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. We are quickly coming up on 2 hours.
Yeah, we are.
Do we even want to try to start the next sentence, or do we want to say, you know what? We've survived 2 sentences, and now I also want to point out, for anybody who's never translated long form like this is why translating lines from, dialogue or whatever just takes a long time.
Yes, it does.
Actually, I did have a question. Like, were we gonna try to come up with some sort of a poll?
Oh, right. Just because we're taking a week off doesn't mean that our patrons don't want to vote on something.
Yeah. So it's like I will have put up our name poll by then. So like there is that, but.
I mean, maybe that's enough though for an off week, because we also have season 3 poll up for our patrons, and there's that orthography poll that was from last week, right? And so
there'll presumably be a new one, or will have been a new one by the
there
time.
will be a new one starting tomorrow. So they'll have a new one for tomorrow, and then during our week off, they could have our name poll and still be voting on season 3.
Good idea. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Let it be decided.
That's good.
All right. Okay, so then what are we doing?
Well, I actually don't remember what time we started.
I feel like we have less than 10 minutes, but potentially more than 4.
Potentially?
Yes.
What's going to happen at the 2-hour mark? Is your computer going to implode because it's like, this is too much Jessie at once?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, it would if there was any ear twitching that was going to happen in the next few minutes. What's the worst that could happen? Like,
no.
Do your ears leak if you try to twitch them? What's going on?
It just seems like very boring live stream to watch somebody potentially just stare at a camera thinking maybe they're twitching their ears, but maybe not.
But you're going to have
it feels like something that's really, you've blown out of proportion.
But you're going to have feedback so I can tell you if it's working or not.
Well, what fun is it to watch somebody say, sorry, your ears aren't moving. Nope, still not moving.
Everybody put in the comments how much fun it would be to watch that.
Okay, if you go back to a slew of comments about how everybody wants to see me try it, then I'll try it.
Like now? How are we going to do this?
No, it'll be on a future episode, because commenters aren't going to happen until after this airs.
You're just getting out of it is what I'm hearing.
Yes, because everybody's going to be like, who cares? Good job, David. You twitched your ears. Nobody cares if Jessie can.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Because it's...
You think people are going to believe that? No. You believe... No. You will see. You will see.
Anyway, I do, however, like what we came up with so far. Do you want to do the honor of reading our 2 sentences back to back?
Oh, I wish I would have. I wish I would have prepared for this. I mean, I feel like I should probably just practice off camera, because who wants to see me?
That's why I have you do it.
Who wants to see me try to pronounce something that I never tried to pronounce before? What if it doesn't work? What if my lips fall off?
Are they prone to doing that?
I don't know. I've never tried this before. It very well may happen.
And that's a lie, because you totally try reading things on screen all the time.
I know, but what about if this is the last one? This is it.
Well, then, as you would say, at least then the viewers next time are just going to see me on stream. You'll be in the intensive lip reattachment surgery, so. So that's the worst that could happen.
Okay. Father and daughter were hopping into the forest and came to fields of green plants. Here we go.
Good job.
Ahe hasas otamika kayen ushalo ho hausas lushu ten kweshani. Wiwi mamika muchechegu lukabi chaisas.
2 hours of translation right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
With some extra rabbit holes we need to go down, because we apparently don't remember certain things from the document, and I hope we fix them instead of making them worse.
Yeah, if I were actually recording this for a show, I would need a lot of work, especially on that first line. I just wasn't feeling the rhythm of it. There shouldn't be a break there. That's the problem. No, but there should have been a bigger hit on 10. Damn it. It's not a ha, it's a ha. This is a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're doing great, though.
Thank you. While I practice, why don't you do it?
It's going to be much slower.
Okay.
And possibly sound like a river possum.
Okay. Come on, river possum. Let's
They're all river possum now.
Do it, Sika.
It's not a sika, it's a sika.
You told me to stress the last syllable, I did.
You can stress an
I did.
Yeah, I can do the first word. No, don't you wave your hand at me.
Okay.
Hey, this us. I did the us instead of the ass.
Mm-hmm. Nice job. Now we
Sorry.
got 2 in this episode. Well done.
This is why you can't trust him to say anything.
And the funny thing is, you could have just said sauce and sass.
I could have, but I was thinking about whatever. They came out wrong. I'm sorry. I apologize to any of our viewers who were offended. Ahe sas ota mika kayen ushalo halo
Mm-hmm.
ho
Mm-hmm.
hasas lushu tenkwashali.
Good, good, good.
Yeah, it was not good. You were such a liar.
No, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. One more.
Wiwi mika. No, wiwi mamika. Muchechegu lukabi chesas. Chesas.
Very good, Mr.
And I wanted all the pronunciations,
Yes,
and then
you did.
I'm just not doing them.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. But also, wiwi ma and chechegu. Remember the stress. But yeah, sometimes the sounds you like don't work out. I discovered that with Castellan the first time, and then with Kamakawi, which I thought had the perfect phonology, just exactly the way I would want it, and I had so much trouble pronouncing it.
It is unfortunate.
My brain wanted to go
Oh, well.
faster than my tongue could. Anyway. All right. Good work. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I suppose, looking at the present moment, we will be doing this tomorrow, but looking back in time, you know, they'll all have to wait a week.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
What a bummer.
by our timeline, we're going to see you all tomorrow. By your timeline, if you watch this when it's released, we'll see you in a week.
Yes, indeed. So.
And in the meantime, stay grammar.
Indeed.
And be bold. Or italic.
And be sure to support us, if you can, with a donation to our favorite charity, and you will receive a tote bag in 10 to 12 months.